and welcome to a very special Nerds United on YouTube. My name is Greg Mahochko. You already know his name. He is the co-host of the year, Mike Luther. Hi, Mike.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm nervous.
I wonder why.
Well, if you've been following the subscriber count, and you know when we started this YouTube 18 years ago, we said if we ever got to 20 subscribers, I would do a shot of wild turkey. And this week, thanks to you and your constant hounding of people online, we got to 20 subscribers.
Yes, I did 3 days so far of posting in YouTube Mates, a Facebook group that I believe we're both part of. And really, technically, I only got one subscriber because we were at 19, and I forgot who. I wish I could name the person. Somebody subscribed, so brought us up to 20 subscribers. And for every 20 subscribers, and I think we're going to cap it off that. We'll cap off what we're doing at 100 subscribers, but we obviously want more subscribers. But for every 20, Greg is going to take a shot of wild turkey. Now, Greg is well over 21, so if you are under 21, don't be stupid.
Well over the gray hair. Let's give a little history about turkey, the wild turkey specifically, because we are almost to our third Thanksgiving with you as the co-host of the year. And every Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, we get together, we record a show, and we do a shot of wild turkey. And that particular beverage came into my knowledge years ago when I was in a civic organization in Mount Vernon, Illinois. And we would get together similarly on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving because everybody obviously was off on Thanksgiving. We'd get together, hang out, play cards, have some fellowship, and do, among other beverages, beers and such, everybody do a shot of wild turkey. And it was called the Turkey Before Turkey Party, with the cornerstone being that gosh darn wild turkey. And I thought as a joke, hey, Mike, you want to come over record Wednesday night instead of Friday night and do, the recording, and we'll do a little merriment shot, and it has since grown legs.
Yes, I remember the first Turkey Before Turkey for us. You nearly choked.
I almost died. Yeah,
almost died. And then that's when I realized, oh, Greg can't do shots. Okay, and then this is gonna be funny to make Greg do shots more.
That's been your goal for the last almost 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we are. We are at 20 subscribers. And in the future, in fact, Mike, if you can pull it up on the YouTube Mates Facebook real quick, I just want to give a shout out to the Facebook, or for the YouTube creator who gave us our 20th subscriber, because I know you threw him a subscribe also. But hey, if you're a YouTube mate or anybody with a YouTube page and you just want a little shout out on our grassroots for fun YouTube video, then we're horse.
All right. The person is Nathaniel Jepson, and he runs or hosts the YouTube page Ultimate Movie Geek.
Well, there you go.
So if you like our page, you'll probably go like his page.
And his is probably a lot better, a lot more well done.
Probably. I checked out a couple of his videos. Yeah, they're pretty good. He has a decent amount of subscribers, but hey, everybody can use more. So Ultimate Movie Geek, YouTube, go there.
Nathaniel, what was his name?
Nathaniel Jepson.
I did a pre-pour, and I think we are all in agreement that is more than one shot. It's like a shot and a half to 2 shots.
Yeah.
So should I pour some of it back, Mike?
You can't. It's illegal.
I thought you were going to say you can't. It's difficult, like putting toothpaste back in the tube.
No, it's actually very easy to pour liquid back into a bottle.
If you have a funnel.
Even without a funnel.
Huh?
I mean, you can sure do it without a funnel. But you know what's even easier than pouring it in the bottle?
Drinking it.
Pouring it in your mouth.
Okay. This is a double shot, so I'm not going to like do it in one because I will spit it and ruin my laptop. I also brought a little beverage alongside for the ride.
Oh, Hofbrau, nice.
Fantastic beer. Good restaurant if you can find them just outside major metropolitan areas in the United States, like outside of Chicago. There's one outside of St. Louis, nearby where I live and where you used to live, and that's great atmosphere, great food, a lot of fun, and a terrific variety of beers. I'm actually going to wet the whistle a little pregame.
Now, I said what you should do, and I don't know if this is possible or not because I don't edit these videos.
Get a straw.
No. Add we have the intro music where it's that kind of like drums pounding.
Yeah.
I say you add that right before you take the shot. Build the suspense up. So either when you're watching this, people, he's added it or he hasn't. I don't know.
Cilantro, yes. God, I hate booze. I hate liquor. Why did I ever suggest this to my It's not good. Beer is good.
You did better than I thought.
Thanks.
No problem. See, it's training. You're doing better.
Dribbled a little bit of my beer. That makes me sad.
And you're wearing kind of a wife beater, which kind of goes perfectly with wild turkey. You know.
Hold on. There we go.
All you need is like to get a pack of cigarettes and roll them up. You know?
Well, that won't happen.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah, so there you have it. I did. Honestly, that's about 2 shots, I think, of wild turkey. It's gonna go back to the back of the fridge where it belongs.
And guys, just think about this. If we get another 20 subscribers
in the next week,
he's got to do it again. All right. So tell your friends, tell everybody you know. Go up to random people on the street and go, well, actually, we're supposed to social distance, so shout at them from 6 feet away. Hey, you know who Nurse United is? And they'll be like, no. And
megaphone. Nurse United.
Toss me your phone. I'll sanitize it afterwards. I'm going to subscribe for you.
Well, that's, I think, going to make for a very fun rest of the recordings. So, you're welcome, Internet. It's like
now we have an actual question, don't we?
It's like in Full Metal Jacket when Private Pile, he snuck the donut into his you were in the military. What's the box at the Foot Locker?
I don't know if we ever had one.
There's a Foot Locker.
Yeah, but a locker, yeah. Foot Locker.
Stuff that gets found out. And the drill sergeant, of course, the great Arlie Ermy, says, everybody else is doing push-ups, hating him because he's not, and he's eating the donut. And he says, they're paying for it, you eat it. That's how I feel like you subscribed and I'm paying for it. So, okay, Mike, what's our question?
So, we'll have more questions on the actual podcast.
Yes, for sure.
To do this one question.
And all of your favorite podcast apps.
Yes. And this question comes from friend of the show, friend on Facebook, I believe probably friend in life, even though I've never officially met him before. Host of the now defunct ABCD Bags. He also does one. I don't know if it's still going on. And the what? Sorry.
In the Deuce podcast.
Yes. And then he had one at 6s and 7s, if I remember correctly. I don't know if that's still going on because I'm behind on my podcast. Anyway, it is the great Bradley D.
Yay!
And his yay applause. That's right. You have to put all the musical stuff when I do this. That just looks. It's going to look like my hands are just doing this. His question is, who is the greatest Batman?
The greatest or favorite?
Let me double check, because that does matter actually. Let me go back on my Facebook.
By the way, anybody who says, or anybody who doesn't answer that question with George Clooney is wrong.
Sorry, who is your favorite Batman? Who's your favorite? That doesn't matter.
That's not all that matters. It's 2020, by God.
Yes. So you want to go first? You want me or?
You go first.
Okay.
Now,
so
do we want to put any parameters on this? Because I think the very popular choice is to go something that's not live action. So do we want to just say strictly in the movies?
No, I was going to say. I was going to include cartoons as well.
Okay.
But I mean, anything, live action or cartoons.
Okay.
If you're on cartoons, I would probably. I mean, you do it however you want. I would guess you would name the voice actor, but I thought
it's the voice actor's name, Mike.
Kevin Conroy. I thought for favorite, not greatest, favorite, I would have to go with the Batman that kind of introduced me to Batman. And, well, actually, I take that back because he did. But he made it a little bit more popular.
Adam West.
No, because I was going to say that Adam West technically introduced me to Batman.
Okay.
This Batman kind of made it a little bit more cool. And that was the 1989 Batman, Sir Michael Keaton.
You say Sir Michael Keaton?
Sir Michael Keaton, I knighted him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think, first of all, if you have knighting capabilities, we need to talk. I have a serious discussion off air because there's no reason if you have knighting capabilities that you should be living in an apartment in small town Illinois.
It's true.
You should be in a palace somewhere in Europe, and you should bring us with you.
Okay. All right. So Michael Keaton, like I said, he probably not the best Batman, but he's the one who, first Batman on the big screen. I remember seeing.
He's getting a lot of buzz again. I don't know if it's the fact that he's back in the headlines and, of course, attached to the Flash movie, or if it's because, maybe obviously, like the Schumacher Batman being Val Kilmer and George Clooney, I don't think quite held up as well as Michael Keaton. The movies were definitely like dated, 90s, bright colors, neons, things like that. But I think people look back, maybe not with quite as rose-colored glasses at Christian Bale, because I think for so many the gravelly voice gets stuck in them, and they just can't. They struggle to overcome that particular aspect of the character,
Yeah. I think I think it's going to depend on your age too, whether or not you would pick Christian Bale or Michael Keaton. A lot of times.
So this might come as a shock to you. My favorite Batman, Robert Pattinson, Robat Bat. Sorry, that's the Wild Turkey talking. No, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale?
First of all, I like Batman Begins is one of my favorite films, comic book films, not just Batman. I love that story of, the young kid Bruce Wayne who, has homicidal thoughts. He's like, well, that's the guy who, allegedly killed my parents, and when he doesn't have that opportunity for revenge when it's taken from him, and he's like, oh, okay, that that probably was a bad idea, because he immediately saw the effects and like the surrounding that woman had who shot Joe Chill. And so he gets slapped by Katie Holmes. She says your parents would be ashamed of you, and he goes up, he like splits. He says to the homeless guy, he's like, nice coat, how much you want for it? They do the swap. He goes off the grid to disappear. I love that trek of him, going to, the Himalayas, what we'll call it, going to the monastery, learning from the League of Shadows. I love all that origin, because that's some deep Batman mythos. The Ra's al Ghul connection. Don't get me wrong, I love Liam Neeson, but I don't like that kind of bait and switch that they did on him, on Ken Watanabe, who's such a good actor and I think was underutilized in that role. But I love particularly the first two Christian Bale Batman movies. I like how in The Dark Knight he keeps turning like this, and he says, "Can we do something about that?" He's like, "I can't." Yeah. Just little things like that, little evolutions of the character. Like, of course, you've got all the money and all the technology in the world. Don't tell me it can't be done, right? So I like those small, little, just little character traits, little nuances that that particular Bruce Wayne was like, this is really inconvenient. What can we do about it?
That was kind of a throwback or a callback, I guess, to the Michael Keaton Batman, because obviously, if you know, in the 1989 Batman, he couldn't. They couldn't. It was all one. And if he would have turned his head, it all ripped. Yeah. Also, it made me think, just like you talking about the Christian Bale Batman movies, like we might have, since there's not going to be a lot of movies in theaters anytime soon, or at least that we're going to go see, we might have to do like a review of some of the Batman movies.
Okay.
Well, like I wouldn't mind going back and watching them. Like I know I like Batman Begins. I know the Dark Knight Rises was next, or Dark Knight. I get them good. Rises?
No, just the Dark Knight. Rises was the third one with Batman.
Yeah. Yes. That one was not bad at all, but a slight step down.
Yeah. I think that the Dark Knight was the peak of that particular franchise or that particular series, just because Heath Ledger's performance was
exactly. Yep.
I like the word. First of all, it's perfectly portrayed, acted, but the character was so unpredictable. He goes into the meeting with the mob bosses. He's like, "I'm gonna show you a magic trick," and she's like, out of nowhere, he makes no friends, and that's one of the strong points, because Joker, outside of the addition of Harley Quinn, I think my favorite Jokers are always, they are the opposite side of the coin of like a Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like Steve Austin's at his best when he's just kicking everybody's ass. Mm-hmm. And Joker's at his best when he doesn't care who who's in his way. He's just out. He's out for mayhem and chaos.
Yeah, I think I 100% agree with you as far as Heath Ledger being a great Joker, and that's what makes Dark Knight such a good movie. Because one, it was unexpected. Because at the time, people were hating Heath Ledger and thinking it was so stupid that he was going to be Joker and stuff like that. But you have
in everything, like their opinions of him changed at the moment that his death, and I was like, oh my gosh, he must have really taken it. Be it if he was like a method acting or what. I mean, I understand. I believe the reports were that he locked himself, in like solitary confinement, trying to get into the mind of the Joker, and it was tragic. No bones about it.
Yeah, and he had a diary and stuff that he would write as the Joker. I know one, you probably know this too, one background part of it is the scene in the jail cell where the Joker starts clapping, and he's doing it like kind of very sarcastically, or whatever to say. That wasn't out in the script.
Right.
That was him. He did it in the background, and luckily they caught it on camera and kept it in the movie.
And it's one of the more famous, like GIFs or memes from that movie now. It's hard to believe it's been 12 years since the movie came out.
Feels like just yesterday.
I'll tell you what, I'm surprised that my wife is still with me, because I think I told you this on the show before. I took her to the midnight, first showing of that movie. We had just been dating a couple months at that point, and we get there. We're with a couple other friends of ours, and there's no volume for the first several minutes of that movie, like that bank robbery scene where everybody's in different Joker masks. You can't. Right. People are saying like, "Hey, come on, there's no audio." Oh yeah, no, we're trying to get it fixed, and they got it fixed, but they didn't like go back and tell us the beginning. So I had to wait until, I can't remember if I saw it a second time in theaters, or if I had to wait for it to come out on like DVD or something to know what exactly was going on in that scene. That was crazy.
It would have been funnier though if like they got it turned back on, but then they paused it, and then like a manager or usher comes running down, and he's like, "Okay, guys, here's what happened." So it starts off that one of the bank robbers, he says to the other guy, "Hey, who were you here for?" And then he talks about the joke, and then he just tries to like tell you the whole scene.
Yeah.
All right, guys, good. And he runs back.
Confession. I have only seen Batman Returns all the way through, from credits, opening credits to end credits once. And then it's just been a few little scenes here and there what I catch on TV, but I've only ever seen that once.
I may have seen it more than once, but I can tell you the last time I saw it was probably however long, 20 years ago. I don't know.
I had do you remember like Game Boy? The Nintendo Game Boy was obviously out and popular, but like the cheap version of the Game Boy was those Tiger video games. Mm-hmm. Remember those? So I had a few of those, and I had the Batman Returns game of that, and that was repetitive and
probably like most of the games back then.
True. I had a pinball one that was kind of fun. I had a few of those Tiger games, but that wasn't like a pinball. It was the same little this size piece of plastic with the LCD screen or whatever, and it's just pinball bouncing around. It was, what you expect from 1993.
Yeah.
So, all right. So there you have it. Our two favorite Batman portrayals. Mike's being, of course, Michael Keaton, who we will see back in the Cape and Cowl, and mine was Christian Bale. To this point, I'm very excited. We're going to talk more Batman, more Michael Keaton and other Batman coming up in the audio version, which, let's face it, if you're watching this now on YouTube, it is available on jitterymonkey.com and all of your favorite podcast apps. Just search for Nerds United. Tell you what, if you're search for Jittery Monkey. You'll find Nerds United a lot faster that way. But, Mike, thanks for the what's the word I'm looking for?
Love.
Yeah, thanks for
compassion, affection,
encouragement on that double of American Honey Wild Turkey. And thank you, the subscribers and viewers here on YouTube, because without you, I'd still be stone cold sober. So he is the co-host of the year, Mike Luther. I'm Greg Mahochko. This is Nerds United on YouTube. Tell your friends to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We will see you next time right here on Nerds United on YouTube. Play the credits.
And rewind.
Yeah, be... Okay, let's try that again.
Okay.
We'll see you next time right here on Nerds United on YouTube. As we tell you every time, be kind.
And rewind.
Now, roll those credits.